This is a bit of a tradition. I spend about a month at a time at work. This time I spent more like 45 days, something like that. And while I'm away, I usually buy a whole bunch of stuff, and when I come back, it's all sitting there waiting for me. And this time my habits were a little bit different. I didn't buy really very many libertarian books. Um, One, Taliban. This is by a Pakistani journalist who is, I guess, relatively authoritative. I've read about the Taliban in ancillary books, books that were about other things that mentioned them. This is somewhat definitive, so I expect I can read this book and be able to talk to neocons a little bit better. This book is not, again, specifically libertarian. Target Patton. The plot to assassinate General George S. Patton. This kind of falls into the reign of World War II revisionism. The Allies did murder, or at least apparently murder, uh, decent people uh, for basically exposing either the hypocrisy or the crimes of the Allies. Forgive me if I get his name wrong. I know I have Polish subscribers, so maybe they'll correct me. There was a Polish general, one of the main high-ranking Poles who escaped the Nazi and Soviet aggression in 1939. And I think his name was Sikorsky, but I could have that wrong. And he was worried correctly that after the war the Soviets would be able to set up a puppet state in Poland, and he wanted Churchill specifically to promise that England would do whatever it would take to prevent that from happening. And Churchill's line was, I sympathize, but Hitler first, and if that means Poland is going to be a satellite for the Soviet Union, then that's going to be it. Well, Sikorsky said that he would, if they didn't give the promise, that he would reveal that the Russians, our good friends, our allies, were guilty of the massacre of the Polish officers at the Katayin Forest. I remember that right, Katayin Forest. Somehow this news of this massacre had made it into the mainstream. The general public was something aware of it to some level, but it was blamed on the Nazis when actually the Soviets had done it. And then he died in a plane crash right after that, mysteriously. Patton is not someone who I identify with or laud in any particular way, but apparently he did understand that the Soviet Union was at least as evil as Nazi Germany. A sentiment, by the way, that wasn't super common but wasn't rare either. Um, there were anti-communists in the Allies, in the Americans, and in the British, and more than a few probably wondered why we would be allies with the worst of the two. Anyway, the allegation in this book, as far as I can tell, is that he was too powerful to be that explicit about it, and so was gotten rid of. But I won't know until I read the book, and it could just all be fake too. Who knows? Just from the Mises Institute, energy, the master resource. I don't really know. I just felt like I had to buy that because I bought a whole bunch of shirts, as you can see. Aristotle. Mises. Some cowboy, aka a German cowboy. You gotta love the colors on this one. Economics in One Lesson. France's great contribution to civilization. And probably the most popular of all of their shirts, I would guess. I don't know what took me so long to get it, but I bought all those, and I was like, I should buy one book, so I bought the energy book. And then we've got gold. It's not in focus, but you can see that is a maple leaf. There we go. Look at that bitch. Her diamond jubilee. I prefer her in gold. The whore. There, just look at the maple leaf. These are Canadian coins. 0.999 ounces of pure gold. Normally, you get 0.999. Also makes them very soft, and these are actually, I mean, they're in good shape, but you can see that there's impressions, so to speak. They've been dented a little bit, so I don't see many scratches, but this is my gold investment for that. And then something a little, it's not gold. It was a Kipling that says iron rules the day. Well, this is steel. I am from a part of the U.S. where the Indians, that's the Native Americans in Newspeak, and that is Newspeak if you think about it, because, oh, it's politically correct to call them Native Americans, but Americans is not a Native American word. It's supposedly named after an Italian explorer. So how is that? It's been my practice to, if I can specify a tribe, and again that's considered racist, but if I can specify a tribe, I will. If I can't, I'm going to say Indians. Now, they wouldn't have used something like this, but I've wanted one for a while, so there it is. Kdioteca, if you watch this, you'll appreciate this. It's a K-bar. I'm not a knife collector, but I don't know, I have lots of money to spend on stuff like this, so I'll start my collection. It says it's U.S. Marine issue, I guess. I suppose K-bar is the company. I don't know what this is exactly for, but I have it just as I got a sharpening kit too. It feels real good in the hand, so I don't have a lot of time here. Things are kind of going crazy, but just gonna let everyone know that I am actually going to PorcFest. I'm planning to be there the whole time. We'll see, but if anyone else happens to be going there, go ahead and look for me. Send me a message, I guess, on YouTube. Perhaps I'll see it. I don't know what my internet connectivity will be out there, but it should be pretty cool. So, supporting the Bastion. Alright, that's it.